Yasin Betty Mali. Saso Figa Gada. Baby Unga Hambi.
Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whichever one you prefer, depending on what time you watch. But welcome to Nothing But Football. Football, yeah, that's what we talk about. That's what we do. Okay, not what we do, but what we watch in this case. If you've watched, you kind of know what's going on. We just talk cack about football. But yeah, to my right, I've got my friends. I'll start with my closest right. This is my friend, Lucas. How are you doing?
What up?
How was the weekend? And how's your, I guess, football journey? Like, I don't know. How's your team doing? Are you happy with them?
Weekend was good personally. I would have loved to watch some football, but the fans did what they got to do.
Yeah.
And all power to them.
Did what they got to do. Interesting. We'll get into that. But Uncle Curtis, how are you doing, man?
I'm right, man. It was a great weekend. Lots of alcohol.
Yes, indeed. That's
good times with friends. So what can you do? But just enjoy your weekend.
Yes.
No hooligans where I'm from, because we have civilized fans.
I think let's not really waste much time. Let's get into, I wouldn't call it the highlight, but I'll call it the
talking point.
The talking point. The talking point of the weekend was obviously the game we were all looking forward to watch, I'm sure. I even remember this was, I took interest for a change. Yeah. Normally I'll not bothered by what my rivals do, but it was Manchester United versus Liverpool that was supposed to play, but it ended up being cancelled because of some fans protesting outside of the stadium, and they essentially would not let the game happen. They broke into the stadium, ended up breaking into the stadium. That was a big talk. Let me ask you, what do you think about that and this method? Obviously, because they're trying to force out the Glazers, who are their owners.
Listen, we're from South Africa. That protest didn't look like anything to me.
Yes.
No one bent tires. There was no songs of the struggle. That was not a real...
Because to tell you the truth, I think I was watching it at a place where they were playing music in the background. And I just thought they were showing like, old clips and stuff.
Yeah.
So I was just like, okay, this is nothing big. And then until I started paying attention, I was like, this game should have started a long time ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, but do you agree with your fans? Do you agree with this method of how?
Look, I think there's been protests, right? Of the whole fallout of the European Super League or whatever.
Yeah.
So do I agree with it? I'm not so sure. Look, they had to make a statement, right? Because these are American owners. United fans have been protesting about them since they bought the club in 2005.
Yeah.
So, 15, 16 years later, the process didn't mean anything back then, but at least now you sort of hit them in their pocket. Although, look, I don't think you should take it that far. I think the game should have happened. I think it would have been such a statement to play the game, and then there's protests outside, because the cameras would have been cutting back and forth to that. So I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I don't own the club. Even if they sell it, I'm not going to get anything from it. So,
okay. And then you, Uncle Curtis, what do you think, man?
Bunch of entitled brats who threw their toys out the cot because they're not winning trophies like they used to under Fergie. Because the protests weren't like this when they bought the club. That hectic, where a bunch of criminals broke into a stadium and we're chilling on property that's not theirs. That club doesn't belong to the fans. It belongs to the Glazers. They're not going. Just like Mike Ashley's not leaving Newcastle. He's not going. Get used to it. But yeah, you shouldn't be breaking into people's properties. You might get shot. It's quite dangerous, eh? Luckily, there's no guns in the UK over there. If it was America, they might have shot all 20 fans that were on the pitch. I don't know how much it is. But yeah, it is what it is, man. Like, it could have been done in a more graceful manner. They could have done it in a better way. There's always another way to protest. There's no need to be breaking into people's properties. In terms of supporting the protest to get the Glazers out, I don't know what they really complain about. Sharp, the Glazers bought the club with a lot of debt. But Man United still spends large amounts of cash. So what are they looking for? What are they protesting against? Exactly. That is my point.
But wouldn't you?
Reckless ownership.
In which way?
So as in the Glazers have set the club up to make money and for them to take money out, but the things that they would do for the club, they're not really doing.
Okay, cool. But then they still do give you more key signings when you say reckless ownership. Pogba, 80 mil. Maguire, 80 mil. Bruno,
Yeah,
60 mil.
they've spent the club's own money on some players.
You know, so, and that's how football is supposed to be run. Off your operating profits. You can't be Roman Abramovich or Sheikh Mansour over there and just keep on pumping money hoping it works out.
Sure. So that's one thing. But what Roman Abramovich and Sheikh Mansour and all of them did was improve the clubs. They've all improved their training grounds, their stadiums. Glazers, none of that.
Oh, okay.
It's hard to go from the top to improve it further when you're at the top. Chelsea had to
Dude,
improve.
this is a stadium. I'm saying stadium and training ground, not the players in it.
Okay, sharp. It's a stadium. Man United, biggest stadium in England. Where do you take it to?
But how did it get that way? Under the previous ownership,
Yeah, but
cash that was generated was Old Trafford wasn't born 75,000. Look at the time of every summer they were like filling in a corner with seats and whatever, that kind of thing.
But hey, what
They
I'm
were
saying
improving
is,
the club.
how do you take it when you already are the biggest club? It's much more harder to see those improvements. You can't compare it to a Chelsea who had
I say you can because it's tangible.
in which to which point should I say? You're already at 90,000 stadium. You have 75. You have one of the best training grounds in the country. Nah? What are you improving besides on the pitch?
I'd fight you on one of the best. I would fight you on one of the best. I think there's a lot of clubs in the Premier League that have a better thing than we
Carrington.
do. Than Carrington, yeah.
Like who?
Arsenal, Chelsea, Man City, Liverpool.
Okay, from
Okay.
to
No, I could name more.
from that point of view, I can understand what you're saying because I never looked at it from that point of view where your training grounds have kind of slacked and your youth academy has kind of slacked.
Yeah,
Manchester
but
City
until Nicky Butt. Oof.
Yes, no,
I
but
can
I'm
agree
saying
with the
there
youth
was a
academy.
point where Manchester City's youth academy and Chelsea and ours were better than yours.
Yeah.
But then I think you guys started to improve at some point.
Yeah, recently.
Yes.
Recently.
So I think I kind of do understand your point of view from there. But let me give my point of view. I feel as though you know what? I'll actually say this, that these Super League fights, and now all of a sudden, have you noticed that the Americans have been targeted in these, get the owners out?
Yeah.
It has a little bit of a xenophobic tone for me because, to tell you the truth, they've improved. They've improved Tottenham. I think Tottenham does have American ownership.
No, Tottenham's a British owner.
It's British. It's
something
still,
Ellis, right?
Yes, it's still a British owner. It's Liverpool that have improved.
No. Sorry, yeah. Under American ownership, I mean Liverpool. We have American ownership. We really haven't improved. We've gone down. But I feel like out of there weren't really that many Americans. Sharp, it was, 3 prominent Americans in the Super League thing. But then I started to feel, especially from a Sky Sports point of view, that this now started to become a little bit more of, it had a xenophobic tone. As in like, nah, this is our sport. Like, these guys can't just come take over. Like, don't get me wrong. I get the point where we're saying that the American owners, Sharp, they have their interests in American football, basketball, and other teams, maybe Major League Baseball.
Yeah.
But, look at other owners where they've been prompted to sell. Mike Ashley was prompted to sell. What did they say? It's his club to sell. He doesn't have to sell. Roman Abramovich was at some point tempted to sell. Now, I get it. Roman Abramovich is at least a Russian, but there were times where they were, they're okay with having him here because he obviously watches a lot of football. So he's okay. He spent a lot of time here and he was trying to actually get citizenship this side.
Yeah.
So it's okay. But the owners obviously who weren't around this side as much, Sharp, they left competent board of directors. I feel as though Ed Woodward was competent for you guys for
he tripled
while.
United's earnings in his time there.
He
tripled them.
He did a very good job.
for United, the business.
Yes. Yeah. I didn't know that. You remember he resigned immediately. Do you know he didn't make a big deal out of it? But his house, as soon as they said Super League is happening, they went first to his house.
Yeah, which they've been to before. They've been to before. So I know you said earlier that the protests are different, but to me, it's been, United fans have been protesting. But at the end of the day, everyone just wants a sugar daddy owner. That's what true. It is. Newcastle have an owner that's from there. He's English, whatever. What's their fight with him? He doesn't spend enough.
Yes.
That guy even came out and said, listen, I'm dealing against principalities and sovereign wealth funds and billionaires. I don't have the money to keep up. Yeah. They still said, screw that guy.
They were willing to, they wanted the club to be taken over by the same Saudi prince who killed the journalist. Now no one's talking about it. It was okay. Everyone was okay with being, lying in the bed and being...
I won't lie. I want a sugar daddy too, dog. I'm tired of not winning competitions. Bring me a sugar daddy. Screw these guys.
I agree with you. But for me, it's very weird when money comes from certain places. Now it's frowned upon. I've noticed that. I'm not saying that's the main reason, but I'm just saying watching Sky Sports and all those other, television shows, it feels like this is more of a campaign, as in like bring it back, which is very weird. It's xenophobic tones, but I think maybe I'm being harsh.
Yeah,
but obviously
those guys probably aren't going anywhere.
No, why should they sell?
It makes no sense to sell now. The asset is slightly depreciated now because that match day revenue is not going to come back in full until. So if you sold now, why would you pay?
Exactly. No owner in their right mind is going to sell now.
Yeah.
It just doesn't make sense unless you're going to say, hey, bruh, because of COVID, before this, the club was worth this much. I'll sell then, but it doesn't make sense to sell now. So I'm not saying that I'm sympathetic to the owners who are being shoved out by their fans, but it's something to think about that it is a little bit.
Just get these criminals out of football.
The criminal is very subjective in football, my friend. There's plenty of footballs, but they leave them alone because they pump their money in the right time.
Yeah.
So but I think let's leave that for now.
Yeah.
Maybe let's just step into some fixtures since some were cancelled, but there were some that happened. Let's start from
Friday.
I think let's start from Friday. Friday, 30th of April, because the last fixture we discussed was Leicester. Friday, do we need to discuss Leicester? I don't think so. It was 1-1 versus Southampton.
Disappointed in that performance, man.
Yeah, I actually thought there was an early red card. I thought that might be another repeat of a 9-2. Because I remember even the comment.
I'm sure they were also.
As soon as they saw the red card, commentators were already like happy. Yeah, but then it ended up just being a 0-0 draw. Credit to Southampton for keeping it that way because things could have gone very pear-shaped. But Inacio, I think, was involved again. No, he didn't score. He assisted this time. So I think that ended his goal run of form. Sorry. Then we look at Saturday. I think that was Manchester City went to visit Crystal Palace, and they came out with all 3 points. It was 2-0.
My boy Kuhn.
Yeah, Sergio Aguero, I think a first start in a while.
Yeah.
And then, that was 2-0. He scored one, Ferran Torres scored the other. Brilliant goal. That was apparently his first goal at Crystal Palace in his career. At the stadium. Yeah.
Aguero.
Yeah. That's on his part.
That's surprising. Okay.
I was surprised too. But it was a well-taken goal, man.
Yeah, very well taken.
You can see the quality of a direct striker when he's in the team. But as soon as I saw he played 90 minutes over there, I'm like, Pep is not even going to play him in the Champions League. He's like, nah, boy. You're going to get your minutes, yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he plays in the Champions League, though. I don't expect him to play, but...
Not from the start. Not from the start. He might come off the bench if they're struggling to score goals. But, you can just see that you weren't feeling the boy before that. Now you're like, I need to give him minutes somewhere. my Premier League title is wrapped up.
Yeah.
Let me give him game time over there before the important game.
Because I'm thinking Pep will probably go for the same formation without a striker.
I think he might go for the second half formation because the first half they were bossed when they played PSG.
No, because if I remember correctly, in the first game, they didn't play with the striker. Phil Foden was... Phil Foden had a pretty good game.
If Phil Foden starts, they didn't play with a striker.
No, that's what I'm saying. It was in the front. It was Phil Foden, Kevin De Bruyne, and Mahrez. So I think they're gonna. Well, none of those guys played.
But how did they change it in the second half? Because I remember the first half, PSG were bossing it.
No, so their change wasn't personnel. It's just in the first half, their defensive line was sitting back and very deep. And the last thing you want to do is give Neymar and Mbappe
I think the only change they made was Zinchenko.
Oh, okay.
They literally made one substitute. Zinchenko.
And I think that's later.
Yeah. No, but
I think that's later. Their change
tactical changes.
Yeah, they pushed their defensive line high.
Oh, okay.
No, but I remember from that game, Zinchenko played pretty well, bro. So, I don't remember exactly when the change was, but it was a vital change because I think they were playing with Cancelo on the left.
On the left, yeah.
Yes. So they struggled there.
But it is what it is. They well done to beat Crystal Palace. Kunagura's got a goal. Happy for him. Addition time, last 4 games of the season. Let me get another Premier League team. Ferran Torres scored. I don't know what's so special about that kid. He just seems like another Spanish player to me. Like he
looks like a good player to me. So
there's nothing that dazzles me about him. I look at him, I'm like, he's a system player to me, should I say?
Really?
To me, he looks like he's a system player.
At Valencia was pretty good.
Okay, I don't know what I'm seeing. I
just remember he was forcing the move. He wanted to be club captain. So I think he's like, let me check his age. I think he is around 21, 22.
Okay, cool.
So he wanted to be the club captain when they had their club captain already there. So they fought him. They're like, hey, bro, listen, if you're not going to be club captain. You can leave if you want, but there's no ways you're going to be club captain.
Okay, cool. I hear you, but I was just saying, when I look at him play at Man City, he doesn't strike me as that special type of player.
No,
I don't think he's a world beater, but he's a good player. I mean, a winger he can score.
Yeah,
he can score from out wide.
He's
physical
skillful.
guy.
Yeah, he's skillful. Yeah. It's just now, Mahrez is up front there, so.
Yeah, either way, school system players, I don't like them, so it is what it is.
But system players are needed. But
I need them in midfield. It's CDM. Other than that, you must be free as the wind. You must be great.
Games don't work like that anymore. But anyways, I think let's move on to the other game, the Saturday game. That was Chelsea-Fulham. I think we can just touch on that because I noticed the score is 2-0. It was a great performance from Kai Havertz. He scored a brace and 2 assists from Mount and I think Timo Werner. So I think we can just brush up on that. I'm not sure if it's confirmed. I think let me just check. I don't think that Fulham is relegated yet, but I think these were points that they would have liked to have. This was probably the best time to win against a London rival. Any thoughts on that game?
Well done to Mason Mount. Well done to Kai Havertz. That's it. Tuchel has just got them perm, but nothing special about that performance as yet to me. It's just I want to see what Tuchel's going to do to that team next season because I think he's going to get 1 or 2 players that he wants. And I want to see how that will change the makeup of the team as well.
And then,
look. I think it's good. Look. In how many games left? 4 games left. I think the only thing really up for grabs is that top 4. Is those Champions League positions.
3 and 4.
And Chelsea have done very well, guys. Like if you look at under Tuchel, Chelsea under the previous coach, Chelsea couldn't buy a clean sheet. Now it's standard. FA Cup final, Champions League semi-final, and going strong in the league. I think they're doing very well. I think we started by saying the draw at Leicester. The draw at Leicester, and if you check Leicester's last 3 games, that result will hurt them.
Yeah.
And Chelsea's even reined them in because they were a bit clear before. So I think well done.
Yeah, I know. I agree there. Good on Chelsea. Kai Havertz, still for me, he's not really a clinical shooter, but he gets a lot of opportunities. So
Havertz.
Yeah. He's not a clinical shooter. Even those two goals. I remember, I think the previous game where he scored, did he score a brace again? I can't remember if he scored a brace.
Score a brace again today in this game.
But in that game, he was supposed to score 4 goals. So he tends to mess up the sitters. But if you keep putting yourself in the position, then hey, good for you.
Yeah.
Then it hopefully keeps working out.
Yeah. Look, and I'd define him as a midfielder for me.
Yeah.
That can play up top. So if he can score goals and add that, and the first season in England is always difficult. It's a direct league. You have to learn how to give the ball away.
Yeah. But I think
play quickly.
It looks like Tuchel's happy with the 2 German boys up front. Yeah. They do have like a telepathic connection.
Yeah.
Because even with the goals, some of the goals they missed, you can see this is not the first time they played together. So
and Tammy Abraham has been thrown away. Hey?
Yeah. No. Yeah. They've gotten rid of him. Ever since he expressed
he'll go to West Ham or something.
Yeah.
And he'll do well.
Yeah, I feel West Ham, West Ham they seem like strong contenders.
Yeah.
Because, Abraham was scoring in the Champions League now.
Yeah, he was a good striker.
Didn't he score in the Champions League?
Oh, well, I don't know, but I wouldn't say a lot.
Now, I was going to say now.
First season in the Champions League for him, having 1 or 2 goals is a good return for me for a young striker.
Yeah. But would you build your house on that?
No, I wouldn't. But what I'm saying is West Ham can play him. He'll get them 1 or 2 goals in the Champions League.
Sure.
Yeah, I know, fair. I guess West Ham is still in the run, even though I think they'd lost the game against Chelsea. That one would have put them in the top 4 race, but now Chelsea won, and I think Chelsea is 3 points clear.
Yeah, you want to cry about referees? Referees did them dirty.
Who? Yeah,
West Ham.
What happened?
In that Chelsea game at 0-0, the West Ham guy is clearing the ball, kicks the ball, then his foot comes down and steps on this guy. Red card.
Balbuena red card. The one that's been rescinded.
Yeah. The referee goes to the pit side monitor, upholds the red card. It's rescinded the next day.
Yes. But I guess aren't these the problems we talk about every day?
Yeah.
Yes, these are the problems that we talk about every day, because West Ham fans were crying and saying, bruh, you rescinded it, but now we're screwed.
You cost us
the league.
If that game ended 0-0 like it was, we'd level on points.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the 3 points we lost.
Yeah.
But it is what it is.
Yeah, really it is what it is. But I guess there's still 4 games to go. If you are still serious, then hey, it's not over for you. I think we can look at the Sunday fixtures. Sunday, we had Newcastle going up against Arsenal at St. James's Park. And that game was 2-0 to Arsenal. I'll start with the Arsenal supporter, Uncle Curtis. What do you think of that game? From an Arsenal's fan point of view.
We play a striker up top, and then my team looks like it can win games.
Yeah.
Compared to when we played Villarreal on Thursday. And we had no striker, and we had it was handed to us in the first half.
Yes.
All right. So Aubameyang scored, so I'm happy that happened. Al Neni scored, but to win trophies, he's a rotation player. It's against the Newcastle team that was generally getting results. They drew against Tottenham. They drew against Liverpool. Did they win or draw or some against somebody else? But they had a decent run of results before they played us. I watched the highlights of that game. I was very disappointed in my team. I decided I'll be better off drinking than watching that team disappoint me again on a Sunday and then going to bed upset. So I hit the streets.
Looking at their last 5 games, they drew against Tottenham. They won against Burnley, who was on a run of form as well. They beat West Ham and drew Liverpool.
You see, so they won a decent run result. So well done to Arteta for realizing these stupid ways and fixing it in the next game. But to be a top manager, you can't keep on making those mistakes. But yeah, well done to them. Well done to Aubameyang for the goal. Well done to Anelli for the goal. And pundits are terrible in the UK. Man goes through with the studs on tackle and he says, no, that's a yellow at most.
I had a feeling you'd bring that up, but let me ask Lucas, before we let you vent, how do you feel about that game?
Good result for Arsenal. Two physical teams. I think that's where Newcastle have gotten their moment. There's nothing really special about Newcastle. We're physical. And then we let St. Maximum run.
Exactly that.
So, Arsenal can obviously match up that physicality because Arsenal is a physical team.
Yeah.
But I mean, this is the team in 17th. So I'm not going to say it's brilliant.
No, we're not going to ride the coattails. Yeah. I agree with you there.
Yeah. But a good result. I mean, it was needed in between Europa after losing the first leg. I guess with what's going on in the league, he still has to go for wins. You can't just accept, wherever they've been in the league. So it's a good result. It's a good result. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, from my point of view, I look at that game and I think to myself, they did what they had to do. I think fans wouldn't have been very happy after losing the Europa game to go and lose against Newcastle. But I think, let me ask you, Uncle Curtis, because I saw you about to vent about the same issue that I was going to bring up. There was a red card in the 90th minute. Do you feel it was deserved?
Yes, it was. It was a studs-on tackle from behind. What the commentator was saying, 50-50 from behind. I don't know what stupid things you concoct in your mind to say. A tackle from behind, studs-on is a 50-50 tackle. It's not a 50-50 tackle.
Yes. All right.
I heard the commentator saying something. You can even see the Arsenal players think it's not a red card because Granit Xhaka, the guy's international teammate, just tapped him on the head on the way out. Yes. I was like, guys, let's use our brains a bit, yeah. It's not like they were going for blood, but it was a terrible tackle. Yeah. Like Martinelli just came back from an injury. Now you studs on from behind. And you want to say it's a fair tackle? It's not a fair tackle. This is not 1956, guys. That's what I hate about these English guys. They remember soccer from when they were playing in 1980. The only World Cup they won is when they kicked Pele out the game and they think that's football. Nah, we'll play rugby. Leave us out this thing with tackling people unnecessarily. Even rugby has decent rules. You can't do high tackles. These guys just live lawless. Like, what's that soccer star turned American movie actor? Vinnie Jones. Yeah. Hey, Joe, get Vinnie Jones out of football. That guy should never have played football. That man was busy chopping people, man.
And people loved Vinnie Jones.
I love him as an actor. As a football player, Jesus, that man was violent.
Yes.
We want to see beautiful players thrive. Nobody wants to see a guy get tackled and almost break somebody's leg. It's not a pretty sight. So yeah, it was unnecessary things from the commentators in that game. Very stupid opinions. I'm gonna start calling out these commentators by names when they say stupid things. You're like, mang, this game, 85th minute, you said something stupid. Take it back.
But isn't that how it works? I think that sentiment is in every game. Back in my day, this is how things used to be. I think that's a sentiment in every sport.
But move on. Back in the day, guys used to date 13-year-old girls. We're in 2021. You don't do that anymore. Move with the times. Like, we were stupid then. We know better now.
Yes. No. I agree with that extreme analogy. But yeah. Other than that, any other important games? It was Burnley going up against West Ham. It's not an important game, but results-wise, for West Ham, that was important.
That was important. Yeah.
Yes. Burnley lost that 1-2-1. And Antonio Brace. But yeah, it was a good performance. Obviously, we know Antonio likes doing this. This is Antonio being Antonio. He'll go quiet for a while and come back and put up the numbers.
Yeah. It was an important game for West Ham, obviously coming off the loss, some injuries. I actually watched this game. Lanzini played in the defensive midfielder position, obviously without Declan Rice and all of that. He was fantastic, but the performance from West Ham was very, very important. Actually, David Moyes said it before the game. He said, he was saying about how we have to take risks in this game and that kind of thing. And they were very attacking in that game. They gave Burnley no chance. The press was there. Everything was there. It's quite nice to see a team trying at least. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're not expected to be top 4, but they're fighting for it. So I like that.
I like that. Yeah, well done to them.
Yeah, I think we don't really have to touch up on many other things in terms of the games. Yeah, because basically the league is kind of taking up form. Obviously, Man United and Man City are up there on the top.
I should add one thing. Those Man United fans don't realize how much they might have cost their team towards the Europa League final by getting that game called off. United is playing every Wednesday and Saturday from now up until the end of the season. That fixture has to be fit in before the end of the season. You might find they might play that game 2 days before the Europa League final.
Yeah, true.
And there's nothing they can do about it.
I mean, Liverpool probably doesn't mind when they play because they're out of all other competitions.
So it's unlikely that happens because remember the last round of fixtures in the league must play simultaneously.
Yeah.
So you must be, everyone must have that as the last game.
Not before the Europa League final, even before that, like before the final day of the season. If you guys don't wrap up second position very soon, because I would assume, what did you finish last year? Third. Yeah. So I would assume Ole would still want to see improvement from last season.
Yeah.
And now if you are playing, somebody pull up Man United's last couple of fixtures towards the end of the season. Because now.
No.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this.
There's a Leicester game.
I'll tell you this. I think Solskjaer will literally, he doesn't mind right now. I think he's concentrating on the trophy.
Yeah.
I don't think.
But you want to keep momentum going because you don't want to be losing towards the last 3 games of the season. Your form is shaky. You know what I'm saying? Then all of a sudden you pick up injuries because you had to play, 3 games in a space of 6 days.
Yeah.
So it might cost you more than you realize at the moment. And that's only if they make the Europa League final, you know what I'm saying?
So United's ending fixtures, Aston Villa, Leicester, Fulham, and Wolves. Obviously with the Liverpool said to be put somewhere.
I'd rather, if I was, that Wolves game is tough. They put it against before Wolves, it's still a tough game. We'll see where they fit that fixture in. But
yeah, look, that's why I was celebrating when Leicester drew 1-1.
We'll see where it goes because, hey, three games, 6 days.
But if you're Man United, do you really care whether it's second or third? I understand revenue-wise, it's a big thing. But if you've got a chance to win a trophy, because obviously I'm assuming with all these fixtures, they're going to need to shape up their squad. And they match their squads as the days go. If there's a time where looking at these fixtures, it's what? They've got 5. Oh, five, now 6.
5.
No. Many. I mean, you guys didn't play against Liverpool. So it is 5. Forgive me, my bad. Yeah, you've got 5, unlike the 4 that everyone else has. And sharp. Aston Villa will be a tough game. Leicester will be a tough game. Fulham, since it's
They'll
close.
Be relegated by then.
Well, they might be, they might not be. And these teams like going out with a bang. If your last 2 games, you're going up against Man United and you win, your fans might go, you might go down with a little bit of, some positive, energy there.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Looking at these fixtures, Leicester, I think, is probably the only one that they'd really, focus on.
Yeah. Look, from a United point of view, we've already gotten more points this season than we've done last season. Already the progression is sort of clear.
Yeah.
Right. And I think we're not far away from securing a Champions League spot. So from there, honestly, the trophy has to be the target. Cause I think, in my opinion, this is the last season Oli gets away without a trophy.
Yeah. Especially.
I think this is the last season that the feel good factor.
I don't feel that way.
You think he can have a barren season next season?
I think this guy can survive with this whole Glazers talk. He might not take the blame. I'm not saying he's going to.
You're saying next season? Because he'll obviously have his job, win, lose or draw that final. Second, whatever, as long as we're champion.
Yeah, but no, I'm just saying
the pressure's on.
I'm saying that this season, it all depends what happens with your what's his name? The owners and your director of football. I feel as though excuses will be made for him. They'll be like, hey, there were a lot of strikes. We were trying to get these guys out. We finally got Woodward out so we can have a director of football who's competent. So I feel as though even if he doesn't win, you can, from a Man United's like fan point, you can kind of forgive him. And I think he might
even this season, not next season. They will.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. This season is the last one he'll get away with.
Yeah.
But look, in 2 seasons, 5 semi-finals, he's done well. It's just 5 semi-finals is at the end of the day we're Man United. We don't remember our semi-finals.
Yeah.
It's also one of those things of where I view it of what's the word I'm looking for here? What do I want to say now? I completely forgot. When it hits me, I'll come
He was about to throw shade.
I'm not going to throw shade. I wasn't throwing shade. I was not going to throw shade. I was about to say something towards the line of, I forgot. This guy made me forget all over again.
Okay, when you take a job when you take the job as top manager of a big club, you need to produce at some point.
Not really produce. It's something more along the lines of like, he has to win a trophy eventually sooner rather than later. Oh, sorry. Yeah. I was talking about the pile up of fixtures towards the end of the season. Right? As a big club, right? Before anything is guaranteed, you never take the next result for granted. Right? So you don't, bank on saying, no, we'll win the Europa League. Nah, second place doesn't matter that much to me right now. Right? So I can lose a game before we play the Europa League final. If you approach it with that mentality, what generally always ends up happening is you lose both games. Because you disrespected the competition on this side and then you try to, like you play, let's say you rest Fernandes and Pogba in the game against, Wolves before the Europa League final. What happens? You lose 4-0 to Wolves on the final day of the season. Mentally, the other 9 players are not okay. They just got a beating.
Yeah,
Sharp, Pogba and, Fernandes are back. Nah, but they're the only 2 players that had a feel-good feeling. But now it's 3 days before a final. Nah, and you just keep on replaying the mistake you made.
I strongly disagree. If you're coming to the end of the season and you've reached your objective and you lost the game and there's a final coming up,
I'm saying you lose
that
the game.
final should give you that feeling.
No, but
if
you lose the
4-0 at Wolves compromises the fact that you're going to win a trophy, get out my club.
Yeah, but you went from 2nd to 3rd on the final day of the season. That's a feel
you
bad
can
thing.
Still win a trophy.
I'm telling you, it's a psychological.
I understand what you're reaching up to, what you're saying, as in from a point of view where you're saying mentally you will not be
at 100% the way you would.
No, yes, you wouldn't be the same as if you had won that game. Mentally. You'll have doubts.
I get you. But if that affects it so much that now you're making an excuse for the final, get out my club.
I'm just saying.
telling
those are the little margins.
Eh?
Those are the little margins.
I disagree on that.
Players are not robots.
When you play in top clubs, those are the little margins. You off by 5% in the final. That makes you
because your second string lost in a game that doesn't matter.
I'm not saying second string. I'm saying bar 2 players.
But what this guy's trying to say is that players are not robots.
They're not robots.
They're not robots.
Yeah, that's why they would be rested and lose on the final game, because they're not robots. You know that. So you're letting them have a...
But what he's saying is that we've seen that, especially in this day and age. Resting players sometimes does have that effect where
you think it's a positive thing, but
they lose momentum and it might affect, your next game if something happens.
It could.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is all hypothetical.
Yeah, I'm saying the what if game is strong right now.
Because Ole could decide to say, screw it, we're going to keep playing. My guys are fresh. Pogba's just come back from injury. Yeah. He's been resting, so he's sharp.
Harry Maguire and Bruno play every game.
Exactly.
They don't get rested.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. This is just what ifs. This is just speculations.
But good luck to Man United in every competition but the league. You must stay lucky in the league.
I'm not going to wish you luck. I'm going to just say, keep doing what you do. Keep going. If you fail, then, hey, bro, I don't know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But I think let's take a break for now, gather ourselves, and then I'm sure we'll come back with some more topics. All right, guys, we'll see you in the next segment. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, do all that stuff.
For Uncle Curtis's beauty tips.
Yeah, but we'll get on to that in the next episode.